Just to be sure, there's a spoiler. While Rick and Morty's most self-referential episode might be a personal favorite, I still find its message deeply ironic given the animated comedy's subsequent trajectory. When Rick and Morty first began, it was one of the most episodic shows on TV. The events of one episode seemed to have no bearing on the story of the next, and this was part of the show's anarchic appeal. However, even as early as Season 2's premiere, I started to notice the series taking Rick's poignant personality more seriously. By the time Rick and Morty's now infamous Pickle Rick episode aired, I was fully invested in the show's canon, even if the Adult Swim hit barely hinted at Rick's backstory. Despite this, I found it hilarious when Season 4, Episode 6, Never Ricking Morty, mocked the very idea of consistent canon with its self-aware plot. In Never Ricking Morty, Rick and Morty wake up on the story train, a story device that was used by the villainous story lord to trap the duo. Welcome to Movie Spy. Never Ricking Morty was about how the show didn't need canon episodes. The absurd episode mocked the idea of Rick and Morty's canon. Story Lord wanted to use Rick and Morty's story potential to break through the fifth wall, and he employed all manner of meta tricks to achieve this. There were callbacks to old episodes, a deus ex machina, and eventually even a confrontation with the show's creator. While Rick and Morty's Season 7 ending might have been more profound in terms of the main characters' journeys, Never Ricking Morty did a fantastic job of mocking the ways that both episodic and serialized TV shows fall back on reliable patterns to make storytelling more convenient. As such, I was shocked when I realized upon a rewatch that Rick and Morty completely disproved the apparent message of Never Ricking Morty as the show continued. Never Ricking Morty implied that Rick and Morty didn't need canon storylines to succeed, and the show even brought back characters like Evil Morty to parody the very premise of the series, utilizing a multi-season antagonist as its big-picture villain. However, Season 5's premiere featured a nod to Rick's backstory, and Season 5's show-shaking finale proved Evil Morty was a pivotal villain after all. Rick and Morty betrayed its message by relying on Evil Morty and Rick Prime again. Rick and Morty Seasons 5, 6, and 7 all relied on major canon plots. Not only did Season 5, Episode 10, Rick Murai Jack, reveal that Evil Morty was behind an elaborate multi-season plan to get revenge on Rick, but the series continued the storyline for another 2 seasons after the twist. Rick Murai Jack also finally explained Rick's backstory, revealing that his wife and child were killed by an alternate version of himself years earlier. While Rick and Morty's sequel episodes always existed, this outing was unique in that Rick Murai Jack set up a cohesive serialized plot that only made sense for viewers who had followed every installment. Earlier sequel episodes like Season 2, Episode 8, Interdimensional Cable 2, Tempting Fate, worked as standalone outings, but the saga of Rick, Evil Morty, and Rick Prime was fully serialized. This plot lasted 3 seasons, beginning in earnest during Season 5's finale and ending with Rick Prime's death in Season 7, Episode 5, Unmortrican. Looking back, I can't help but find it ironic that Rick and Morty mocked the idea of relying on this style of serialized storytelling only a season before it became the show's new norm. Never Ricking Morty feels weird now that we know where the show is going. Rick and Morty's future will continue to balance canonical plots with episodic stories. It is bizarre to watch Never Ricking Morty with hindsight, since Rick and Morty now balances serialized storylines and standalone episodes on a regular basis and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. According to a Variety interview with the show's creators from 2024, Rick and Morty's future seasons aim to strike a balance between canonical and standalone episodes. Rick and Morty Season May 8th feature more standalone episodes since Season 7 provided a fairly definitive ending to the Rick Prime plot, but the show still intends to utilize serialized storytelling going forward. To be clear, I enjoy Rick and Morty's serialized plots and think that few of the show's standalone episodes can compare to Unmortrican in terms of emotional impact. The format allows the series to tell bigger, more ambitious stories, which inevitably means these plots have higher stakes and feel more impactful. Thanks for watching.